Hello and welcome back to the Football Chat podcast. Today is episode 132. We're continuing our series of running through every Premier League club and rebuilding them for the 23-24 season. Today we are on to the 11th team in the Premier League, Liverpool. Not because they finished 11th, just alphabetical order. Last season, it has to be said, it was very disappointing by Liverpool standards. They've been really solid in recent years. Last season, however, not so good.
No, it wasn't great. They did recover it, but as you said, majority of the season, it was not good enough from Liverpool. They were really poor. They were getting beaten by mostly everyone.
Yeah, they had a bit of a shocking start, and in that, they still beat Bournemouth 7-0 in the opening games of the season. But yeah, they tried to change it a little bit tactically. Obviously, we know...
9?
There's not... Yeah, 9-0, sorry, not 7-0. Yeah, record-breaking or whatever. I don't even know what the record is. 10-1? 9-1? Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so they tried to change formation slightly. Obviously, they still played their 4-3-3, but instead of having Firmino as that false 9, they had Nunez, which obviously didn't work. We saw that. That's why we started to see Nunez deployed on the left and Gakpo through the middle after January. But that was only the second half of the season. And then obviously we saw the evolution of his tactic, where rather than having both the fullbacks sitting or attacking as he had before, it was Robertson tucking back into a 3 and Trent inverting to give another man in midfield and form that box midfield. Almost a pentagon, actually, when Gakpo was dropping in. So that definitely changed Liverpool, and you'd imagine that's how they'll line up next season, a very similar sort of system there. So we're going to be discussing today what personnel they need to add to that, and maybe who they should sell as well.
Yeah, because as much as it was a poor season last season, they didn't end too badly. Also, they beat United 7-0 towards the end of the year. They had they went on a very good winning run. They won 10 in a row or something like that.
Yeah, they were in great form.
And they managed to get themselves back into European football, 5th in the league.
Yeah,
not bad saying the way the season started.
They were very close to the Champions League.
Yeah, they were in the end, which was actually surprising.
How did they get on the UCL this season?
Which makes you feel UCL semis? No, quarters. No. Quarters to Real.
No, Chelsea lost quarters to Real.
16's to Real.
No, yeah, round 16 to Real, 6-2, wasn't it? That famous game at Anfield where they just got absolutely ripped. It was 5-2 in that match.
Yeah,
that was pretty poor. But yeah, I was about to say maybe they did alright in that.
Saying they managed to recover the Europa League with a few more additions, they could be right back at the sharp end up there.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are forgetting they're part of the equation.
Yeah,
a lot of people are discarding them. Like, I've already seen some early predictions for next season, and I know a lot of my mates have been saying, it's going to be both Manchester clubs. Newcastle going to be in for the title. But I don't see a way that there's anyone other than Liverpool challenging them. We've seen even this season, Arsenal had such a gap, but they couldn't challenge them. The only team in recent seasons that have been anywhere close to City and above City at times is Liverpool. And I think if anyone's going to challenge next year, it's going to be Liverpool.
It's Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool.
Yeah. And as much as they had a poor season last season, he is still there. And they are going to have some new signings during this summer.
I think he's the only manager in the Premier League, maybe apart from Ten Hag, that can go toe-to-toe with Pep.
Ooh. The thing is, we're not seeing Poch versus Pep, have we? We saw a little bit.
Tottenham beat him every time, so it's unfair.
Exactly. So, is that just the Poch effect?
I don't think Eddie Howe's going to outschool Pep Guardiola.
No.
De Zerbi, maybe.
De Zerbi's a genius.
I mean, and this is...
That's the thing.
I'm talking over one game, I'm not talking over a season.
Why do we look at De Zerbi as a genius? Because he plays possession-based football. But Eddie Howe is an idiot. Is it just because Eddie Howe's British? And he doesn't have that name. Like, if his name was Zeddy Zhao, and we go...
Zeddy Zhao?
Are we heralding him?
Maybe, but no. I think Jurgen Klopp is the closest we can get to Pep.
Yeah, probably right now. Well, maybe if Zidane's in the Prem, do you think he has a chance? I think Zidane's very much a knockout competition manager. He's great for the mentality and getting the team to work for him. But over a course of a season, I mean, did he only claim one La Liga title, I think? But won 4 Champions Leagues? I might be massively wrong there, guys, so apologies if I'm incorrect. But I don't think they won many titles, did they?
Can't remember that first.
Okay, fair enough. But first point that we usually discuss is, of course, the contract situation. Now, Liverpool's is quite interesting. They have lost a lot of first-team players. Should we start with the one we knew about for a while, Roberto Firmino? The thing is, Firmino's impact this season hasn't been big, nor the season before that. But he's still a massive player for Liverpool. He's been brilliant for them.
He's left on a free to join a Saudi club.
Al Ahly,
yeah, that one.
Seems like that deal is done now.
But I mean, they're prepared. They've got Nunes. They've got abundance of players who can play in that centre forward.
He's struggled a lot with injuries over the last 2 seasons, but you can't doubt his importance to Liverpool over the season before that. He was pivotal to the way they played, the way that they would press in their 4-3-3 system, the way they'd attack. And we've seen actually that replacing him isn't as easy as first thought. You can't just buy a striker to do what he does.
And to be fair, I think he was the underrated man in that brilliant front three of Mane, Salah.
It's always the players whose movement is excellent, but whose contributions aren't high. Because people would have looked at that front three and gone, "Oh well, if you stick Suarez in there, they score 100." But they don't. No. Because the only reason Mane and Salah worked as well as they did is because of Firmino. Yeah. Firmino is the link between them.
Very good player. He has now left, but I think they've prepared replacements for him, so he should be fine.
Fantastic servant, nice send off, and he's going to go secure the bag now in Saudi Arabia. So fair play to him. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain also leaves the club this summer.
He's been there a while.
He has been there a good few years now. It hasn't ever really worked for the Ox, has it?
It looked so promising, youth player coming off at Arsenal.
Yeah.
Just never really worked, as you said, never really worked. Never really...
No, he's looked good for Arsenal, but again, injuries have plagued him throughout his career. He never really hit the ground running at Liverpool. He wasn't able to meet the demands that Klopp's system wants from his players. Yeah, he couldn't really press the extent that Klopp wants him to.
No.
But he's a good player, and it's a shame that his career hasn't really done anything. I think the dream return is... Because he came through at Southampton, no? I think. Might be wrong. I believe Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Did he start? I thought he started at Arsenal, Maybe he didn't.
I will have a look. It feels like he should have because he's now.
I feel like he'll fight. I think.
Southampton. 2010, 2011.
Yeah, there'll be clubs that want him. As we said, Championship, League One, maybe abroad.
Well, I think the dream returns to the Championship. Go play for Southampton.
He'd be absolutely
brilliant,
fine.
Wouldn't he? Yeah. The pace would be fine for him. Russell Martin at the helm. He's at the wheel, going up. I think that'd be the dream return. Other than that, I don't really know where he ends up. Could he be a good pickup for someone like a Sheffield United, a Luton? Could he still do it in the Premier League?
Maybe.
It's hard to say. If he can stay fit, maybe.
I think he's a good footballer.
Yeah. But we saw Lallana, who never really did anything for Klopp. He went to Brighton and showed how he is still a very good footballer. So I think Oxlade-Chamberlain, if he can stay fit at a new club...
And to be fair...
I just hope he doesn't go like Turkey or something, because that seems like he's going to go get his payday. I hope he goes and tries one last sort of... to try and do something with his career.
Yeah.
Because his career's not really gone anywhere.
No.
Other departures this summer, though, Adrian... I think he'll be less hot.
Last time this man put on a Liverpool shirt, he conceded 7 against Aston Villa. That was Aston Villa's side that only got relegated 2 years ago. That's not even New Emery's
third choice keeper now. He's behind, is it Shelman? Kelleher? How do you pronounce that first name? It's Irish.
I think it might be Cameron.
Is that Cameron?
I think it might be Cameron.
No, it's Caiom.
Ian.
Yeah. Sean. I don't know how you say his name.
Sean. Kelleher. He's behind Kelleher.
Kelleher is a good keeper, but Adrian is... He was brilliant at 7th West Ham back in the day. Very much reached the twilight stages of his career. I would probably... It's either going to be somewhere like...
Spain.
Yeah, maybe a return to his home nation. Yeah, could see it. Or a retiree, I think.
He's
30, 34 now, I want to say.
Or a Saudi who needs money.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Saudi club that wants a bang average goalie. Yeah. But to be fair, they haven't picked up any goalkeepers yet. We're going to need some to save all the shots from Benzema and Ronaldo.
Just him and Adrian and Mendy.
Mendy is there, to be fair. So that's the one team with a goalkeeper. Yeah. They'll probably win it because they've got a goalkeeper. Yeah. As long as he doesn't pass it to the forwards, of course. If Brendan Harrison goes Saudi, then Mendy's got a problem. But yeah, Milner then.
Milner. I think this makes sense for everyone that's involved in this kind of whole leaving process of Milner. Yeah. Liverpool, great servant, but he's getting on a bit. He's 38 now, 37. So he's kind of past it to be playing at the very top of his game. But I think going to Brighton, I think he'll do very well as a team leader, more of a dressing room figure, but can put a shift in. As you said earlier, we saw how Adam Lallana worked at Brighton. Maybe Milner can also work.
Yeah, I mean, Milner's entering in a different stage of his career. Yeah. Milner is very much a retiring player, but his versatility will be crucial because he can cover a lot of roles for Brighton. He can play that right-back role as backup development. He can play midfield too. That versatility is useful, but also he is still a good player. He's used to that pressing.
I just don't think he's at the very, very tippity top of his game. Like, I wouldn't.
Like, tippity top.
Liverpool need players that they need to look at their whole squad and go, I would start in the Champions League final.
Yeah, no, he needs to move on from Liverpool, but he's still at the top. He's still performing to a very high standard because Brighton want him.
He just couldn't do it on a consistent basis.
But we know he can meet the pressing demands. He's still got that fitness, so he will work for De Zerbi if played in midfield.
He's got that dog in him.
He does have that dog in him. So I think he'll fit that quite well. There's not many strong leadership figures at Brighton, so I think he can definitely be that. He's a more senior player who can definitely offer that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then we move on to Naby Keita, someone who Liverpool fans will probably be pleased to be seeing leaving. Why has it not worked for Keita at Liverpool? Is it simply just injury?
I think it does, because when he's played, he's looked good. I remember all the screamers he scored against Chelsea when he's been fit.
I don't think that's necessarily inducive of excellent performance. He scored a goal screamers.
No, but he's had some good highlights. I think he's actually done quite well. He's just been so injury prone. He's never played.
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot that no other club was really picking him up. He's going to Werder Bremen on a free, which I think is a good move for his career because he's not really played. If he goes to tries to go back to Leipzig, he'd be a bit part player. If he tried to go to another big European side, he'd be a bench player. For me, a move down to Werder Bremen is perfect because even if he is injured, when he's fit, he'll offer them so much that he couldn't offer to a big.
He'll be the type of player that cost Dortmund the title when they lose 3-1 to Werder Bremen.
Because he'll be so good in midfield. He'll just boss Conor Gallagher if he ends up going there.
Still a good player.
Yeah,
I think he's made sense though to leave.
Yeah, and I don't think he ever fully adapted. Again, Klopp's system demands a lot of his players, and Keita never had what it took to play in a Jurgen Klopp system. But yeah, that's all of the 2023 ones. They're all leaving the club this summer. There are 2 players leaving, could be leaving at the end of their contract in 2024, Joel Matip and Thiago.
These need to be signed ASAP.
Really? Do you think?
Yes.
Okay, why?
I think they're both...
Start with Joel Matip. Why does Joel Matip need to stay?
I mean, how many games did he start last year? 30, 40? He was brilliant. He was so...
I'm going to have a look.
He was so involved. I think you just cannot let a player...
So 12.
12?
He started 12 games in the Prem. 14 appearances in all.
How did he get last year?
31.
Oh, I got the wrong year.
He's been injured a lot this year.
Konate was injured.
Konate tends to start.
Was that last year?
Konate was out for a little bit last year, but he's only played 18 games.
Well, who's played centre half then? Because Konate's played 18 and Matip's played 12.
I don't know.
Lovren, is he back?
Imagine. Oh, Joe Gomez.
Oh, dear.
Joe Gomez has made 21 appearances, 15 starts. So it's been those 3 in rotation alongside Van Dijk, I think.
Well, I'd still keep Matip.
Would you?
Why not?
I think he's a good defender, but he's too error prone. And a part of the rebuild for me would be to bring in a defender.
Maybe, yeah.
Like Matip just doesn't cut it anymore. In all honesty, if Konate or Van Dijk goes uninjured, are you confident that Matip could start every game?
Yeah.
Well, he might get injured.
So yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
No, but yeah, okay. I don't know. I don't really. As for Thiago though, I think it's a different story. Why not?
I don't know.
He's magical.
I think he's a really, really good player. He's not a Klopp player though.
Is he not?
No, not really. I think
he's looked brilliant under Klopp.
He is a good player, so he has looked good at times, but he doesn't suit the system. He can't play as the lone DM or in a 2 with Trent there now inverting, so he doesn't really fit that role.
Free, eh?
Yes, but the 2 midfielders, they want to push forwards and create something. So he's really good in a system where he can be protected by other players around him, where he can take time on the ball. For me, Klopp's system doesn't work. He's a Pep Guardiola player. We saw that at Barcelona. He was brought up through Pep's football. We saw then again at Bayern, as I was going to get onto. But yeah, at Bayern, he is a Pep Guardiola player. He's so good in possession. Klopp's teams don't have possession. Klopp's teams are gegenpress. They press. Thiago can do that, and he's fine at that. But for me, he doesn't fit the system 100%. So I wouldn't be too bothered about letting him leave on a free. I think you've got another year in him. I don't know. Maybe. I think he is a really good player though. So if Klopp is happy with him, he can play as one of the 2 midfielders in there. It's just whether he can meet the pressing demands required It's whether he can be the creative. It depends on how they want to play the ball forwards. Because from midfield, you've got two real options to play the ball in behind. To play the ball forwards, you can either run it forwards, which Thiago can do to some extent, but not really. Or you can pass it through the lines. So he can do that, obviously. We know Thiago is a quality passer. So he could definitely work in that role. I just don't know whether you extend his contract or not.
Alright.
But I would be intrigued. I reckon there would be some suitors, probably of Saudi lineage.
Really?
Very interested. But how old is he now?
33.
If he's 33, then I'd be definitely thinking. 32. Has been injured since May. Expected to be back late July. Okay. Only 14 starts last season in the Premier League, 18 appearances. I don't really know. Liverpool just had loads of injury last season, which obviously hampered them quite a bit. Well, remember when Beige could was it Baketic?
Yeah, I was like midfielder Elliott, Milner, and Henderson.
Yeah, well, Arthur played a game.
Did he?
Yeah, he got injured after that.
I think
he didn't play a game.
Yeah, he didn't.
I thought he played in the Cup or something.
No.
He played in one game in the Champions League.
Oh.
Got injured after 13 minutes. That was it. That was his Liverpool career. I spoke about him, but he is leaving.
Oh, what a shame.
They've not kept him around.
That's just a weird deadline day.
Curtis Jones played a lot from last season. Oh, anyway, we'll get on to squad keeper cell in... Well, now. Wow. What great timing.
It's not starting midfielders, though.
No, let's start at the back. Because this is the easiest area, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alisson. What does he bring to Liverpool? Why should we 100% keep him?
Everything. He is error prone.
Is he?
Yes. You cannot tell me that Alisson is not error prone.
I think he was, but he's been very good this season. Give me one error he's made this season.
Okay, let's just go to round 5, Liverpool 2.
Oh, that was a shit show though. Courtois.
Oh, sorry. Shit. Oh, right, yeah, that one.
Good error, actually. Oh, I didn't think you'd come up with one. I thought that was a checkmate. No, Alisson, okay, he does have one error in him this season. But
no,
he also has saved like 400 goals because Liverpool would have been relegated. He has,
but I still think as a goalkeeper, you cannot afford to make errors. Obviously, he's a keep. I think he's a magnificent goalkeeper. But no one can tell me.
Courtois made as many.
No one can tell me he is not. No one can tell me he's the best goalkeeper in the world.
He is.
He's not.
It's either him or Courtois.
Courtois is better.
He's very good though, isn't he?
Okay, undeniably, Alisson is world class, but he is not better than
defensive actions outside the penalty area. He ranks in the 99th percentile as well, by the way.
Okay.
So he just gets ball. Yeah, that's why he's so good for Liverpool. Because they're terrible defensively. Not terrible, but they play such a high line.
In that Liverpool team, he triples Alisson's stats.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. Courtois not a sweeper. Courtois would have a mare. You try and get Courtois running out to deal with balls over the top, he would get lost. He's an excellent shot stopper, but he's not a sweeper.
6'9".
That doesn't help him. He's outside this penalty area.
He does. He just jumps and headers it away. So tall.
He's not. He's fine with the ball at his feet. His distribution's fine. But for me, Alisson is the best goalkeeper with the ball at his feet. Other than Ederson, who's not a goalkeeper, he's a midfielder. He fully is. And Neuer, that doesn't count. He's a sweeper. I don't know. That's very good. So to be fair, but
I think Neuer's better than Alisson on his day.
What? Neuer's like 40.
No, not now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. On his day, primarily not. Yeah, best goalkeeper of all time. He was ridiculously good. He's up there with like Casillas and that. But that's like going, well, Casillas is world class.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
But I've compared Neuer to Khan.
Yeah, I'm sure. I can't say watch much of Khan.
I know he's quite good now.
Oliver Kahn. But yeah, but you could say that for anyone. You can make anyone look bad by comparing them to the best player ever. Oh yeah, mate. Suarez is crap. He was never Ronaldo, was he?
Alisson is very good, but I don't think he's the best goalkeeper in the world right now.
Oh, I think he's up there though, so it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah, he's second.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's very good to have the second best goalkeeper.
Coming second is the first to lose.
What? I mean, it's technically right, but it doesn't fucking mean anything.
Well, it does.
It's not like some massive parable you've just made up. That's just a thing.
No, I saw it on a poster once.
Right. There we go.
I think Ayrton Senna said it, actually.
He probably did because he wanted to win. But I don't think when you're comparing... that's in a race of 20 people, not of the millions of goalkeepers that exist.
Oh, I'm not comparing to like Saudi keepers, am I?
No, but...
Speaking of keepers, I'm going to compare to Saudi keepers. Adrian.
Already spoken about him. He's sleeping, isn't he?
Flappy hands.
Yep. And then... right, we're going to try and say his name again.
Kelleher.
Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce it. Irish. If there are any Irish viewers in the comments, please just tell us how to pronounce.
Cameron.
No, that's not. There's no run or am. It's just Cayman.
Cayman.
This was really offensive. I apologise to the Irish viewers.
I really hope someone tells us how to say it.
I don't know how you pronounce the first name of Kelleher.
Oh man.
We're not spending this episode just trying to pronounce his name.
Kelleher is a keep. He's
a good goalkeeper, isn't he?
How?
Do you think that Liverpool face the prospect of losing him though? Would someone like a Luton bid for him?
No.
Surely he'd go.
I think he's a cup goalkeeper.
Really? I think he's a really good goalkeeper.
I think he is, but I don't think he could start. I wouldn't want him starting a full Premier League season.
Why not?
I don't think he's that good.
He made one appearance in the Premier League this season.
I think
he made 6 saves.
Look at the 2 domestic cup finals last season against Chelsea. Yeah. He was brilliant in both penalty shootouts. But he's a penalty shootout cup goalkeeper.
Well, you've never seen him play a full season.
I don't want
how
him
are you
to
judging?
that.
Why? Okay.
I don't think he'll be that good over a 38-game season that doesn't involve penalties.
What are you basing this off, though? He's made plenty of saves in normal time. I've never watched him concede a goal.
I have.
When?
Liverpool Arsenal. When the cup final went to penalties a couple years ago. The game
okay, sorry. When he was 8, I watched his granddad nestle one past him at the park.
I just don't think he'll be that good over a full season, but I keep him.
Yeah, okay. I think though you could get a bid. I think that possibly there'll be clubs looking at that 5-10 mil mark. I think he's a really good young keeper. If it wasn't for Gambazooni, he'd probably be a shoo-in for the Irish national team. Why would you not want to leave?
I think
you mean you can't play a full season of Premier League football with someone, or you can watch Alisson play a full season.
Yeah, but you're also going to win like a double every year, apart from last year.
That's zero aspiration though.
Oh right, okay.
If Emmy did that, he'd still be sat on the bench at Arsenal.
Yeah.
And you'd still be cheering on Robin Olsen.
Let's not get into that.
Okay. Defenders, Joe Gomez.
How does this man play 21 games of football? He's rubbish.
He's not rubbish.
I don't rate him.
I don't rate him, no. I don't think he's quality. I think he's very surface level. He's a fine centre-half. He can do a job if you really need him to, but...
He's questionable with right-back versatility.
He can play right-back.
But that is questionable.
He's just not Champions League winning, Premier League winning material, is he?
He's just not it.
8 clean sheets last season. 28 tackles, 24 interceptions. They're not amazing numbers. He also won 82 duels, but did lose 65.
Yeah, it's not great.
But, and he almost lost more air battles.
Sell him.
Only one error leading to goal, though, which is better than I would have expected.
I think it was a 4th choice.
Yeah, I think you bring in another defender.
Yeah.
You still have Matip for a season. You still got, obviously, Konate and Van Dijk starting. I think if you bring another centre-half, Gomez can play 5th choice. If you get an offer from Sheffield United, from Luton Town, from Bournemouth, someone like that, you let him go.
Let's try and name teams that aren't Sheffield United or Luton at some point in the podcast.
Okay, Celta Vigo want Joe. Okay. He's already been mentioned. They've already mentioned
Celtic.
As well. No, who cares? Celtic.
I think he could go to Scotland.
He could. Why would he go though? What motivation is there for 26-year-old Joe Gomez?
He's only 26.
Go to Scotland.
I said he's at least 29.
I think for another Prem side, he's a crucial player.
I would say a West Ham or Crystal Palace.
No, I don't say it. Okay. He's not better than Gerhard Andersen.
He can stay at Liverpool.
He's not better than Gerhard Andersen, is he?
He can. I said keep. I don't want to sell him.
Okay.
We're keeping him.
Fine, we're keeping him for now. Van Dijk.
Keep.
Yeah, it's fairly obvious one, isn't it?
But he wasn't that good last year.
No, he wasn't. He had some moments
There's a big question mark around
pure
him.
stupidity. The thing is, he had like 2 good seasons, picked up an injury, has been pretty average since. Like there was that stat I've always never been past, and now he just gets run past all the time. So he's lost that inferiority, that thing that made him almost a Ballon d'Or winner. He was top 3 in a Ballon d'Or, which is something unheard of for a defender. And yet now he's in the shadow of his former self.
What year was that?
2019, the year they won the Champions League.
And the Premier League?
No, Premier League 2020.
Oh, but they beat Tottenham in the final.
They still won the Champions League.
But I could beat Tottenham in the final.
No, you couldn't.
I could. I think my football team could beat Tottenham in the Champions League final.
They can't even beat other teams in the division, mate. You're waffling.
No, I'm not.
You almost got relegated.
I'm
Pipe down.
Get sent off and gives you a penalty in the 4th minute.
But right, Van Dijk's quality.
He is quality, and I think so.
If you can get him back to a rejuvenated best, it'll be sensational.
But equally, bad Van Dijk's still decent.
Yeah. Yeah, having a bad Van Dijk is not the worst thing ever.
No.
Ibrahima Konate.
He's another one. If he stays fit, he's quality.
He's really, really good.
But none of these footballers stays fit.
No, I don't know what Liverpool do. I think it is just the system, though, isn't it? Klopp's system does a lot of his players.
Yeah, centre-halves.
Gegenpress. Yeah. They have to keep chasing people that Trent's not marked.
I'll just clatter into him.
Yeah, and then you'd be sent off.
Better than being injured.
You might get injured while injuring someone, and then you've got a red card and an injury.
Oh, so even when you get back from injury, you still got a suspension.
Yeah, your FM thing will look mental. So many things next year now. And you're on international duty. How did that happen? We don't know. But Konate, yeah. I think he's a really good player. I think he's a really good player. That goes without saying, doesn't it? But really good defender, great in the air as well. We saw he score a lot of corner goals as they got towards the Champions League final last year, which did happen last season. They did almost win the Premier League, almost win the Champions League, and did claim both cup competitions. That only happened 12 months ago.
None of that should have happened.
None of it.
Maybe not the domestic cup, shouldn't have. That was a joke.
Okay, sure. Konate is a very good defender, though, and I think he's one of the best one-on-one defenders in the league. He's a great. But him and Van Dijk seem to have a good partnership.
Yeah. So
I think he's fine. I think he's really fine. He's not world class, but he's very good.
Yeah.
So yeah, no need to get rid of him. Konstantinos Tsimikas.
Absolutely fine backup. Might as well keep
He's got a very punchable face, doesn't he, Tsimikas?
I hate him.
Okay. Seems much further. I don't know. I think he's a good player though. Good at what he does. My only qualm, I think that's used right, is that he's a very attacking player. Very, very attacking player. So for the new system where Robertson slots into back three, don't really see how Tsimikas could do the same job. But I guess he has been for half a year that we've just not been noticing. So maybe he'll be fine. He did make a solid 20 appearances last season, which they won 9 of. So yeah, he's a good, he's a right player, isn't he? He's not tearing the world apart. Barcelona aren't going to be bidding 100 mil from anytime soon, but he does a job as a backup left back.
Yeah.
Up next, Calvin Ramsey. I think he's gone out on loan, if I'm not mistaken. He was at Preston North End last season.
And then he said to me,
"Hey, Fayenne." Yeah, where's he gone? He has not gone out on loan, but he was at Preston North End. Oh no, he might now be going to Preston North End, I think, on loan. I don't really know. Football says nothing. Premier League app says he's at Preston North End, so I'm guessing he's now going out on loan.
Why is he on Preston?
Good. I mean, they're a championship club, aren't they?
They are.
Just go Google him, see what's happening to him. But he came in, didn't he, like a year ago from Aberdeen, 2 years ago from Aberdeen. Yeah, he's now at Preston North End. He's on loan. No? Yeah, he's on loan. Okay. Right. He's a good player. Yeah. He's 19. He's not going to play for Liverpool. But see how he gets on next season. Yeah. You probably do need a backup right back there.
Probably.
Someone who could play as a centre-half. Someone who could maybe even invert. I don't know. Yeah. But something like that could work. So I think for me, a loan for him works. Don't sell though.
No.
Still some potential there. Another Scottish fullback, Andrew Robertson.
Definite keep. Good, very, very good player.
One of the best left backs in the world over the last few years. Had a bit of a down season last season as his attacking emphasis was lessened due to the system change. However, he's still a really good player.
Yeah.
So no qualms there about keeping him.
Yes.
Joel Matip, we've already spoken about. I think you would probably let him go next summer.
Probably.
I mean, you seem to be quite on board with keeping him. I don't think it's a massive problem if you do keep him. But I think if you bring in another centre half,
see who you got.
If you bring in another centre half, you've got to let one of him or Gomez go.
If you get to the end of the summer and you've got 3 centre halves who've been out injured all season, and Matip's played 27 games, then probably keep him.
Probably, yeah. Nat Phillips.
Get rid of this man.
What's he been doing this year, do you reckon? Well, he came in because they needed a defender to play. He made 2 appearances this season, 7.81 average. Right, I'd start him all the time. No, he didn't do a lot. Then where did he go? I don't know.
He's out on loan last year.
Yeah, he was on loan at Bournemouth in the Championship for half a season. He made 18 appearances. He joined in 2018.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was recent.
He went on 2 loans to Stuttgart.
5 years ago.
He went on 2 loans to Stuttgart in the same season, but 2 back-to-back. He played again for Liverpool in between. He obviously did really bad because he landed him back instantly. Then he played 23 appearances until January 2022, where he then went on loan to Bournemouth after the season. Then he played 5 appearances since last summer this season, and that was it. Where did he last play? He got a booking in his 24 minutes against Wolves in the FA Cup.
Not great.
No. He did do well, though. He played 52 minutes against Man City in the FL Cup, where he dropped a 7.3 rating as they lost 3-2.
Oh.
But yeah, a sell, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever really going to be good enough to play for the club. I think you'd probably want to bring another centre-half, in which case he's not going to get registered. A loan seems pointless. He's never going to play for you. Sell him on. Just cut your losses now.
Yes.
Up next, Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Keep.
Yeah, no
footballer.
Other option there. He's
Magical
sensational.
He can't defend, but he's a magical footballer.
I think in his new inverted role, he really works.
Yeah.
Yes, there's some exposure there with the defence when he plays, but you're not going to not play him. Maybe he can play as a midfielder next season. I think he'll still play right back, but if you bring in another right back, it gives you options.
Yeah. Turn on the game.
Yeah, I think you can play him in the midfield though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It depends on the right back you bring in. But the player I've got lined up, very, very good player.
Cool.
On the midfielders then, Fabinho. Now, a season ago, this was a lot more cut and dry, but for me, it's a lot more contentious.
I still think he's a very good footballer.
I do. I just worry he's lost the legs, and in which case, that is a massive.
I still think Keep is like a leader, a bit of a squad player.
Yeah, okay, but I would bring in someone to rotate.
Yeah.
Because I don't think having him as your only option is a very good idea. No. But the only problem with bringing someone in is you do directly block Stefan Bajcetic's route to the first team. Who, while we're at it, Keep, right?
Yeah.
Really good player. But would you let him out this season? Would you give him more minutes? What would you do with him?
More minutes.
You don't want to damage his playing time. Yeah. You've got the Europa League, of course, this season, so that's an easy 6 group games you can give him. Plus minutes in the FA Cup, and regular Premier minutes as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of minutes to go around, and I think he should gobble up a lot of them. Thiago. For me, I would let him leave next summer. You were quite keen on keeping him.
I think he's a really good footballer.
I 100% agree on that. I just don't know if he suits the system perfectly.
I guess
depends who you bring in this summer.
He's got a bag waiting for him.
He might have a bag waiting for him.
Maybe more than a bag.
Hopefully, he has some money in it, because if not, I'd be very disappointed if it gets there. It's just a rucksack.
Yes.
Up next, Jordan Henderson.
What a man.
He's fine.
I know, in terms of leadership.
I wouldn't actually put him on the pitch.
But off the pitch, he's brilliant.
He is.
On
he
the
does
pitch,
a job.
He can do a shift.
He's really good in the press, and we saw that actually with him and Curtis Jones in there last season. That worked a lot better than Thiago and Elliott. They're both creative players. So I think you need players who can work hard. He is one of them. He'll play, when he comes on, he'll do a job. When he has to start, he'll do a job. In the Cups, he'll do a job. No need to let him leave. He's still got a while left of his contract.
He's a very do-a-job player.
Yeah, and he is the captain, no?
Yes.
So that you're not going to let him leave. He's a good influence in the dressing room. I think there's no real problems there.
No.
Keep him around. Curtis Jones. For me, if you asked me at the start of the season, I'd sold him. But I think he's actually done really well this season.
Yeah.
I think he's starting to blossom into a really good footballer. He's a great creative player. His pressing numbers are really good as well. He just works a lot.
I feel like we should do him alongside Harvey Elliott.
He's such a Wijnaldum.
Yeah.
Because they're very different players. We'll get onto Elliott next, I think.
Okay.
But Jones is such a Wijnaldum. Like, he's not going to be a flashy player that someone like a Real Madrid wants to pick up. But Klopp will love him. Because he presses, he could score, he can assist. I think he's a good player.
Yeah.
Harvey Elliott.
I think it's...
I was going to say, this is going to be interesting just to hear from you.
My opinion on these two has changed quite a bit watching the Under-21 Euros.
Okay.
What's
with that red shirt on where there's no bias? Suddenly...
When you actually look at... I just don't like Harvey Elliott for who he is.
Remove the person with the player.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think
but footballing ability-wise, they're both very good players.
Yeah, the fact he's only 20, he seems so mature. He's made 32 appearances this season for a 20-year-old.
Wow.
1 goal. He also got 2 assists, but 7 big shots created. So that's just Darwin Núñez tax. He's no disrespect to Núñez. He's had a fine first season, but he has missed a lot of chances.
Yeah.
But he's a good creative player. I think it's a shame we don't see him on the wing anymore, because I think he's really good out there. And that's why I think Liverpool have long been linked with having a right winger that isn't just Salah. But Elliott, I think, in my opinion, is a more than capable backup.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't... Jeremy Doku, that's an interesting player, but for me, I think Elliott can do the job if Salah was to get injured, which he doesn't because Salah is Iron Man.
Well, yeah, I don't
know. Now cut this clip in 6 months when Salah picks up an injury, but he doesn't get injured. He hasn't got injured yet for Liverpool. Cannot tell you one game he's missed for injury. So, and you're going to throw Diaz there, so I wouldn't buy a right wing. I'd have Harvey Elliott around. I think he's a really good player.
Yeah.
And he does deserve to have a lot of minutes next season.
Yes.
Even if it is less than 32 appearances. Mm-hmm. Fabio Carvalho. Well, this one's done for us. They've loaned him out. Do you think that's the right call?
Yeah.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
A weird sign.
Just going to keep saying yeah for a bit.
Well, I don't know. He loaned out to Leipzig. It makes sense. Yes.
The thing is, he's a really good player. But it just, for whatever reason, didn't work out for him at Liverpool this season. I think a loan to the Bundesliga makes a lot of sense. I think he'll tear it apart.
Yeah, I say brilliant.
Yeah, it's the Bundesliga. He'll be good. It makes a lot of sense. He can play a gegenpressing style of football. They tend to in the Bundesliga. It's all very fast paced. So once he comes back from that, Liverpool can reassess whether he can be part of the first team option. I also think a big contributing factor as to why he's gone to RB Leipzig is just to sweeten that deal for a certain Hungarian player who we'll be getting onto in a couple of moments.
Yes.
But yeah, really, really good player. I think a loan move will do him a world of good. Artur.
Who cares? He play one game, he play 13 minutes, he's going back to Juventus.
There's no point. Yeah.
Don't buy him back.
No, not even a conversation, is it? And then just some children. Stephen Baker, who all unanimously agree is really good. Keep him around. And then Lex Macassar obviously has just joined.
What a signing this is. I honestly think this man's so underrated.
Underrated?
Yes.
I don't think he's underrated. I think he's very adequately rated.
Quality.
Yeah, I think he's really good. But I do think people will overrate him just because he scores a lot of pens.
No.
Yes.
Look at the World Cup.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong, he's a really good player. But I think a lot of people look at his numbers and go, wow, he's so good. But he just takes pens. But he'll probably take pens for Liverpool, which is something they don't really have. Salah has missed quite a few pens over his time.
He's been rubbish.
You don't mean rubbish, he just score pens.
No, he's been rubbish at penalty, he's not rubbish.
Yeah, Macassar definitely now goes down as a Brighton, as an FPL asset, sorry.
Oh, okay.
I meant not, but yeah, he's probably not a legend for Brighton, but Brighton don't have any legends because they would leave.
Yeah, memorable man.
Yeah, he goes down as a Brighton memorable man.
I don't know what to call him.
Yeah, okay. I like memorable man. Good player. He'll really work in the system, I hope. He'll play as one of the 2-8s for Liverpool. Yeah. That'll really work. Yeah. So, yeah. As long as he can press and score and balls in behind, is sort of his forte as well. So that should work. Salah should love him. On to forwards, where we have only 5 to go through here, but I think they're all keeps for me. We'll start with Luis Diaz. Magical player.
Again, he stay fit. Wow, what a player he is.
Yeah, really good at cutting inside. Can also take it to the byline though and cross it in. So I think the fact he can go either way really helps. His 2-footedness is an asset. I think on the left wing he can cause a lot of right backs a lot of problems. So can definitely create a lot of chances.
Being getting number 7 this year as well, making a big statement.
Yeah, I think he is definitely there to stay. I wouldn't be surprised in a couple of years if they're fighting off interest in the same way they had to with Coutinho, in the same way they had to for a while with Salah and Mane.
And look at Coutinho.
Coutinho left and didn't do well.
They got Salah, 100 million for him.
Mane left and didn't do well. Salah stayed. Has done very well.
So far.
Don't ever leave Liverpool is the moral of the story. Speaking of Salah.
Wow.
You don't let him leave.
How good is he?
He's ridiculously good, isn't he?
Like, where do we rank? Like, not prime sometimes. Salah right now, where does he rank in terms of the world's best players?
Ooh,
top 5? Top 10?
No, he's not top 5.
Top 20?
There's one reason I'm trying to think of who the others would be, because it would have been messy, but I can't say someone who's just gone to the MLS's top 10. So for me, Haaland's right up there.
I think right now, ability-wise, is he in the top 10? I don't know.
I think he is. I think he definitely is. For me, Haaland's number 1 and Mbappe's number 2. That's the undisputable bit. Who comes after that? Because I would say, if we look at the standout performance of this season, Vinicius. But for me, Salah's better. Benzema, he's now gone to Saudi Arabia.
Is Salah better?
Than Vinicius? In my opinion, yeah. Vinicius has a higher ceiling than Salah's current ability.
Salah's very good, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Salah's a very good player. For me, one of the world's best. And his numbers over the last few seasons, he's scored 19 goals this year.
Wow.
No one's talking about it though, because it's not Haaland's 470.
Yeah.
Odd. He's such a good player. Cuts inside really. He is such a good player.
Yeah, he is very good.
But yeah, cuts inside well, scores a lot of goals. great inside forward, works the system well, has a great relationship with Klopp.
Yeah.
He will work.
He's
never. Don't ever let him leave.
No.
Yeah, and only 31 still, so he's now leaving his prime.
Yeah.
You've got to start thinking about replacement though.
Yeah.
Is that player Harvey Elliott? Who knows? Possibly not. But that's something you've got to start thinking about. Is there something to think about this summer? Probably not, with how much they need to do.
I'd say wait a year or two.
Yeah. Cody Gakpo.
Me to get a keep.
He started slowly at Liverpool, but he definitely found his feet towards the sort of mid-March time and onwards. I think the turning point for me was the Manchester United game.
Yeah.
The one they won like 7-0. That for me was where he really shone.
Yeah.
Really showed his quality for the first time. And I think in that false 9 role, he is so suited to that.
Yeah.
Because he's a great hold-up player, a good finisher if he gets in the box, great with link-up. I think he really works.
Yeah.
He really, really works. So Cody Gakpo for me is an obvious keep. Diogo Jota, along a similar line of thinking, really. I think he's a good player, plays the false 9 role well, can play on the left if need be, has a good relationship with everyone, great in behind, so works with Klopp's system. Yeah, no-brainer. Keep him around.
Yeah.
Darwin Nunez can attack well off the left-hand side now. Great finisher. I think once he finds more confidence, now that he's not playing through the middle,
she's relaxed.
he has been quite clinical recently. The thing is, first half of the season he was hitting the woodwork. He was missing easy chances. People started to mock him.
He was awful.
But he's done well since then. Like 9 goals in your first Premier League campaign is not a bad tally.
It's not awful, no.
But he has got to, improve next season.
Yeah.
But it's always about that constant improvement. I don't think Mane did all that in his first season at Liverpool.
I can't remember.
Might be wrong. Maybe because they dominated and scored loads of goals and stuff. But I know Salah hit the ground running, so I don't know if Mane did as well. But that wasn't Mane's first season, to be fair. So he may have had a bit of a slow campaign the year before. But yeah, I feel like maybe Mane didn't hit the ground running. Anyway, if Nunez can find his rhythm, he will have a lot more competition for minutes with Diaz fit, with Jota fit. But I think for me, you've got Nunez and Diaz on the left, Gakpo, Jota in the middle, Salah on the right. Works as a front three. Maybe you look to bring in a right winger. Probably not though. Probably content with playing Harvey Elliott there if need be, playing Diaz there if need be, hoping Salah doesn't get injured.
Yeah.
Praying to a god, all gods that exist, that Salah does not get injured. So yeah, that's our Liverpool squad keep or sell. What about some improvements then? Well, it's difficult to improve some good sides, but I think there's definitely some improvements to make at Liverpool. So the areas we'll be targeting is defensive options. They haven't got much cover in wide areas, in those fullback areas. No real quality cover at centre half either. So we're going to be looking at options there. Also midfield then. Midfield is the big area they need to improve. Now they've already brought in Alexis McAllister and they are on the verge of bringing in another player. We'll talk about him. We'll talk about other options. And yeah, it's going to cost a lot of money. So we'll talk about that as well and whether they would need to sell to buy. Probably not though because it's Liverpool. Yeah. So it depends on how ambitious who runs the club, FSG.
Yeah.
Depends how ambitious they are. So we'll start with the back then. Defensive options. I've mentioned centre half in this video. I've also spoken about how they could do with the left back. I think you can tick both those boxes with one big player to cover them both. I don't really know. The analogy was weird. Anyway, Piero Hincapié. Talk to me. Good player?
I think he's a very good player.
Excellent with the ball at his feet.
Yeah.
Plays well at left back or at centre half.
I think you can get him relatively cheap as well.
Quite so. I think if you're looking around the 40 mil mark,
pretty cheap.
It's all right. With the way that Liverpool like to play now, obviously with the situational back three in possession, you need a left back who's really comfortable with inverting. And we're seeing how Ake does that really well for Liverpool. For me, Man City, sorry. Yeah. For me, Hincapié does a very similar job. Very tall, so can play centre half. Well, does play centre half. That is his primary position. So when you play him at left back, coming into that back three, he'll be a centre half rather than a left back just doing a job there, like Robbo is. But Robbo does it well though, and I think Robbo will still take up a lot of minutes. But for me, just having that rotation, just having that option, it means you can bench Van Dijk as well once in a while. Never know. But I think he's a really good player. I think he's a really good player. Comfortable in possession as well. So if you do want to play out from the back a little more, you can do that. Great in the air.
Yeah.
Good player all round. Right. So I think for around 40 million, 45 million, you're probably looking at a great deal there. Right back. You need a rotation option, in my opinion. I've noted down 2 here. One quite expensive option, one less expensive option. They're both going to be difficult to transfers to pull off. The first of which is Benjamin Pavard.
Oh,
now,
hello.
He can play in a back 3, which helps because if you want to do that, you could push Robertson on and drop one of the midfielders in to play in that double pivot with Fabinho. Rather than having the right back come invert forwards, you could have one of the midfielders drop in. One of the options we'll be looking at later potentially, or Thiago dropping in there if he's playing. Pull Salah out wide, move the strikers around. Basically, you can create a sort of 3-2-5 in attack rather than having the 3-2-3-2 they currently, or 3-2-2-3 that they currently have. So options there you can play around with. I think just having Pavard, he could invert, he could slot into the back 3. That versatility is useful. If you were slotting into the back 3 and move Robertson forward, you can unlock his attacking potential again. You could also play Trent in midfield there. If you wanted him to, he can then drop back from midfield. So that loads of options there, which I'm sure they'll explore with him. So I think it's a good pick-up. If you want someone that's a bit more defensive, I've gone for Ivan Frischneider. Now, that may be a name that not many of you are too familiar with, that you should be, because he's a really good player. Plays for Real Valladolid, a sensational right-back, a great man-to-man marking. He's so good in 1v1 situations. He was most praised this season for his job at marking Vinicius Junior in that Real Madrid game. For me, he's really good, and the fact he plays for Valladolid, who have just been relegated, means that transfer fee comes down quite... I think... Have they been relegated? Might be wrong there, actually.
Don't know.
Can't remember. But that valuation is not really too high anyway. He is a young player, only 18 years old, but I think he's so quality, so good defensively. He offers something that Trent doesn't. So for those big games where you need someone that's a bit more defensive-minded, put Trent into midfield, bring in Frischneider.
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyway, you are going to have some competition there. So Pavard, I'd say around that 40 mil mark. Quite expensive for a backup. Yeah. But the fact he could start every game, what if you play Trent further forward, is a nice option. For me, Frischneider's hard to pull off because Barca are so desperate for him. Barca really rate him. That is a domestic move. For an 18-year-old, you're probably going to be favouring playing for Barcelona in your own country rather than making the move to Liverpool. So that seems difficult to pull off. Pavard makes a lot of sense for me.
A lot of money, yeah.
It is 40, 50 mil probably, but I think you can get that.
Nice day.
I think you can get down at 40. I think you can. Bayern, he's not played. Has he played loads this season? I can't remember in all honesty, but he's a really good player. Really, really good player, but he is going to be pricey.
Yeah.
If you can pull it off, though, do. Midfielders then. Now, we've already spoken about McAllister. What does he actually bring? Well, he brings a lot of energy, he brings good pressure, and he brings a lot of creativity, which is something that Liverpool's midfield's not always had an abundance of. So I think he offers a lot there. He's also quite a lot younger than all of the other midfielders. Yeah. So that helps massively. And I think similar sort of profiles will be good. Another player they're looking at, which seems to be a done deal now, I think it was Here We Go by Fabrizio just before we start recording, will probably be announced by the time this goes out on Monday. Yeah. We're recording ahead of time, of course, is Dominic Szoboszlai.
What a deal this is.
Why do you think it's a good deal?
I think he's a magical player. I think he's an absolutely magical player.
Yeah? What does he do as a footballer?
He's just really good. Okay. I just really like watching him.
I think he does have that wow factor, doesn't he? The way he plays the game is really exciting. He's the type of player who picks up the ball just outside the area, likes to hit those long shots, likes to try, very ambitious with that. He's also great at cutting in onto that right foot from the left flank, which is why it confuses me, because they've got a lot of left side players. It seems they could play midfield, which he can do really well. He's got a lot of energy, good running, can carry that ball forward, good dribbler as well. But he is a bit more of a winger. And I don't think he is 100% suited to a Klopp system, which makes this a bit of a weird transfer. But if he rates him, maybe it works. I don't really know what his pressing is like. I've not seen too much RB Leipzig, in all honesty, this season. But from what I've seen of him when he used to play for Salzburg and a lot of the clips and everyone talking about him, he is as you say, a magical player. He does have an absolute wand of a foot. So he's a great creator. Don't get me wrong, him and McAllister are going to be feeding the front three chances constantly. I do just worry, though, having both of them is not a great balance in midfield. That's going to be a lot of work for a lone DM to do.
Yeah.
But there is one player who could do that work. That is Kefren Turam, and I think he is the perfect fit. Manu Kone would have been a great option, don't get me wrong. Did go off injured for France U21 the other night, though. So you're not going to be able to... You probably won't make the start of the season.
No.
There is already a lot of competition there anyway. For me, Thuram makes a lot more sense. Not a lot of competition. Plays for Nice. Yeah. Easy to negotiate with there. I don't think Jim Ratcliffe will be too concerned. He'd love the £50 million, £40 million you probably have to pay for him. He's a great player, great box-to-box midfielder, but could play as that DM because he's really good in the tackle. Not great in the air. How tall is he, Kevin Durant? Actually, he might be decently tall. Actually, I want to say he's under 6 foot, but I might be wrong. Great player though, great energy, loves driving that ball forward, which is what we spoke about how teams get the ball to their forwards. Now there's two options really: you pass it forwards or you run forwards with the ball. Yeah. And Thuram is a runner. He's great at dribbling, great agility, loves to just drive that ball forward, run at the team through the centre.
Yeah.
A player like that can be really disruptive, really disruptive because they just run at you. How do you deal with that? If you're just carrying the ball past you, how do you deal with that? You either foul him or you'd have to try and block off those passing lanes. So he's difficult to deal with, and I think that helps. He's he's a fine passer, good tackler, great interceptor. For me, as a box-to-box, he makes a lot of sense. So if you line up with a midfield three of Fabinho, Thuram, McAllister,
hello.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
That's a really nice composition of midfield. DM is a little then weak, but I think Bajkatic can come in there and rotate well. Thuram can do a job there. So if you want to play Szoboszlai, you want to play Curtis Jones as that option with McAllister in midfield, that definitely works.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Thuram just completes that midfield, gives you those legs.
Yeah.
Gives that Curtis Jones player with a bit more technical ability.
Yeah.
So for me, I think he is the perfect fit. Now, if we look at all those transfers as a whole, if they did sign Hincapié, Pavard, Thuram, Szoboszlai and McAllister, that is 239 million, which I don't think the bank is going to be too pleased about. FFP will be very unhappy, but you could settle the books by saying Joe Gomez.
Yeah, and a couple of others.
And if you're letting people leave on the contract, you're going to save a lot of money there. If you do the amortisation thing, Liverpool haven't really spent over the last few years.
No.
They have got the money. Like, I don't know, FS you can try and say they don't. They do. It's Liverpool. They'll be fine. Yeah. So they can definitely go and spend that. They can definitely go get those players. For me, Liverpool, I think that's how you do it. There's not a lot more to say. Hincapié would be a great option. Pavard's going to be a difficult deal to pull off. If you're not looking, if Pavard and Fresneda are too hard to pull off, do you think Jacques has any realistic opportunity? Because he can invert really well. Good attacking right back.
If he knows he's going to start.
Would City buy him for a rival? Would send him to a rival? Probably not, but they'd let him go to Arsenal because they love Arteta.
It depends if he's going to start every single game.
Which probably doesn't.
He left City and Bayern because...
Bayern didn't want him.
Yeah,
I just think Pavard's the perfect fit there. But viewers at home, if there's another right back you think would work, then please do leave it in the comments below. But predictions then. So Liverpool for the new season, where do we see them?
Right at sharp end.
Yeah. For me, they're P2.
Yeah.
P2. They're second. Man City are just superhuman right now, but with a few additions in there, I think Liverpool can challenge. Especially since City have a lot of work to do of their own. Look out for that in 2 days. But in the meantime, that is everything for today's episode. Liverpool have a lot of work to do, and I'm confident they will do it because Klopp will demand it.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Then we'll have a tight fight on our hands.
Yeah.
Exciting times. Anyway, that is all they need to do for this summer. If you have enjoyed today's video, then we would appreciate massively if you could leave a like and subscribe. Of course, if you are new around here, that subscribe button, hitting that subscribe button does massively help us out. We are trying to hit 2.5k subs this year. That is a very ambitious goal, but who knows? Maybe we could pull it off with your help. If you want to keep the conversation going, get involved in the comments down below. Leave your thoughts on everything we've said in this video. If you think there's anything absolutely wildly ludicrous or obscene that we've said in this video, please leave that in the comments down below. And if you've got loads of criticism from Liverpool fans who love, I don't know, Joel Matip, then please leave that in the comments below as well. That's everything for today, though. Thank you as well to the viewers on Spotify. You often go unrecognised because we can't see you. We appreciate you listening to every episode as well. You can't see us either. But yeah, that's everything for today. Thank you all very much for watching or listening, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.